to net by Chae-jun.
The header is good, and it's the giant defender John Tae-wook, and eventually Korea have broken the deadlock.
You're listening to the K-League United podcast, proud partner of Football Nation Radio.
Hello, I'm Akim Mikar. Welcome to The Weekend, a bite-sized preview edition of the K-League United podcast. I'm Paul Neat, and we start with the latest news headlines. Ulsan Hyundai reached the AFC Champions League semi-finals. Suwon Samsung Blue Wings battle bravely but bow out. K-League signs a memorandum of understanding with Spain's La Liga aimed at boosting mutual development and cooperation. And Daejeon Hana Citizen appoint Lee Min-sung as the club's new manager. He departs the Korea Under-23 setup where he served as Kim Hak-bom's assistant. Our starting point this week, Ulsan Hyundai are through to the AFC Champions League semi-finals thanks to a 2-0 win over Beijing Guoan. A junior Negrao brace sees the Harangi overcome Beijing and into a first semi-final since 2012, the year Ulsan won the competition. Ulsan got off the mark with a helping hand from former Jeonbuk defender Kim Min-jae. He was judged to have handballed in the area, and after a VAR review, a penalty was awarded. Up stepped Junior to give Ulsan a 21st minute lead. The win was then sealed 3 minutes before half-time. Junior again found in the back of the net, this time from long range. However, there will not be an all K-League semi-final as Suwon Blue Wings lose to Vissel Kobe of the J-League on penalties. The Blue Wings battled bravely and took the lead on the night thanks to a glancing header from youngster Park Sang-hyuk with 7 minutes on the clock. But Kobe were level with 5 minutes to go until the interval, Furuhashi Kyogo firing in a deflected free kick. However, referee Adham Makadame had originally given Kobe a penalty and booked Jang Ho-ik, but the replay showed that the offender was Kim Tae-hwan and the incident happened outside the box. Jang's yellow was then rescinded and Kim was sent off. The resulting free kick made its way past Yang Hyung-mo in the Blue Wings goal via a deflection. The game went into extra time and then to penalties, where the J-League side emerged as victors 7-6, with Jang Ho-ik skying his spot kick over the bar. Suwon's exit now guarantees Daegu FC a place in the qualification playoffs for next year's AFC Champions League. Had Suwon have won the competition, the Blue Wings would have been K-League's fourth entrant at the expense of the Sky Blues. The semi-final between Ulsan Hyundai and Vissel Kobe will go ahead this Sunday at 7 p.m. In other news, K-League have signed a memorandum of understanding with Spain's La Liga, a business agreement to promote mutual development and cooperation. Some of the major items included in the agreement are sharing information and strategies, sharing ways to secure financial soundness of the clubs, eradicating illegal broadcasting and improving the quality of relay broadcasting, supporting youth players and coaches' education programs, youth competitions, promoting friendly matches, and also joint e-sports competitions, as well as exchanging human resources and support agreements between teams. The agreement will also boost exchanges between K-League and La Liga teams. K-League 2 side Cheongnam Asan and La Liga's Cadiz CF will sign a business agreement aimed at managing the two clubs, developing education and marketing exchanges. It is expected to serve as a bridgehead for expanding exchanges between the clubs in the future. More information on this can be found on kleague.com. Elsewhere in K-League 2, Daejeon Hana Citizen's search for a new manager concluded on Wednesday when the Purples unveiled former Korean national team defender Lee Min-sung as the man tasked with guiding the team to promotion next year. The Purple Arena hierarchy are said to have interviewed a number of candidates for the position after a long period of time before making what they call is the right choice. Alright, taking a look ahead to this week's AFC Champions League semi-final between Ulsan Hyundai and Vissel Kobe is our very own Branko Belan.
Thank you, Paul. There are now only two teams left in the East Zone following Thursday night's quarterfinals. K-League side Ulsan Hyundai and J-League side Vissel Kobe. The last time the Horangi made it this deep into the tournament, they won it back in 2012. Vissel Kobe are in the tournament for the first time this season and have looked impressive most of the way, but had to fend off a stubborn Suwon Samsung Blue Wings via penalties in the last round, while Junior Negrao potted a brace against Beijing Guoan for Ulsan's secure passage through. Another semi-final between teams from rival leagues will prove to be a tough one to call. the last time out for both teams, so Ulsan won 2-0 over Beijing. A first half brace from Junior Negrao stood out as Ulsan now find themselves in a position to do something which they have not accomplished in almost a decade: play in the final of Asia's premier football competition. A handball in the 20th minute led to the Brazilians' first goal from the penalty spot. Beijing then cranked up the pressure, surging forward in droves but failed to pierce the Horangi back four. That would pay dividends with just minutes remaining before the break, when Junior found himself with acres of space outside the penalty area and confidently smashed the ball into the net from distance for one of the best goals he has scored in this calendar year. The second half painted a bit of a different picture as Beijing continued to pressure, but Cho Soo-hook was up to the task and made several key saves to preserve the clean sheet. In all, it marks 7 consecutive wins and a huge dose of momentum ahead of their most important match of the season. Vissel Kobe had to struggle to progress through to the semi-final, barely edging past a stout Suwon Samsung Blue Wings side that played the majority of the match with 10 men. Park Kun-a's men went in front early thanks to Park Sang-hyuk, who headed in inch-perfect cross from the right. Suwon looked strong going forward and had a relatively strong grip on proceedings, that is until the tides turned in the 37th minute when Kim Tae-hwan was sent off with a straight red for denying a goal-scoring opportunity in the area. The original call had been for a penalty, but VAR overturned the spot kick and Suwon went down a man instead. Kyogo Furuhashi took full advantage, squeezing the ensuing free kick under the wall and behind Yang Hyung-mo to send the teams to the break on level terms. With regulation time unable to choose a victor, the match went to extra time. Only a goal line clearance from Yang Sang-min kept the match level, with the final 15 minutes of sudden death left to play. The second 15 minutes also could not produce a goal, sending the final verdict to penalties. Both clubs were successful on their first 6 kicks each, but Jang Ho-ik skied his penalty over the bar, while Noriaki Fujimoto deposited his low into the net to set up a date with the competition's hottest team of the moment on Sunday night. Let's move forward to the team news for Ulsan Hyundai first. The attacking options for Ulsan are plentiful, with both Bjorn Johnson and Yoon Bitgaram also on good form of late. Add in the midfield play of Kim In-sung, which was a feature of their win last time out, and you have a recipe for success. They will have to be wary of Vissel moving forward and will have to protect the flanks as best they can, as the Japanese side like to send balls into the box from the wings. Lee Kuno, Kim Tae-hwan, Won Du-jae, and Shin Jin-ho are all on yellow cards going into the match. Should Ulsan progress to the final, those cautions will be rescinded, providing they are not booked against Vissel Kobe. Now, a look at the opposition. Vissel Kobe are now at somewhat of a disadvantage, having played through extra time and penalties against Suwon. Andres Iniesta made a brief appearance as a substitute in extra time, but looked to have re-aggravated a right thigh injury after converting his penalty at the end of the match. It looks as though he will not be available for the match against Ulsan, leaving to question how Kobe will mount offensive pressure in his absence, especially with Ulsan being such a perennial threat on the counter. Douglas struggled mightily against Suwon's defenders and could well be in for another long night on Sunday. He squandered several opportunities in front of goal, but that does not mean in the least that he should be discounted. He could well be looking to redeem himself after a subpar performance, and that is something that Boethius and company must be attentive to. Ryuho Kikuchi, Yutaro Oda, and goal scorer Kyogo Furuhashi all carry a caution into the match on Sunday night. Kikuchi and Furuhashi will likely start, but Oda will likely come from the bench as he did against Suwon. Ulsan have been unstoppable of late, and many tip them to continue that trend when they face Kobe on Sunday night. Despite having a man advantage for most of the match against Suwon, the Japanese side looked worn out at the conclusion of the match in comparison to their Korean counterparts. Ulsan are on top of their confidence at the moment, and the group realizes they are on the cusp of something special. Their play in the competition this year has been nothing short of exceptional. They have not been this deep in since the year they won back in 2012. It's time to take the next step and book a place in next Saturday's final against Iranian champions Persepolis.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeagueUnited with any questions, comments or reactions. or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
All right, thank you very much for that, Branko. Time now to catch up on what else has been going on in the world of Korean football. Out of the ACL, but in the dugout, is a new manager at Sangam. FC Seoul have appointed Park Jin-sup as new first-team manager on a 3-year contract. Park takes over at Sangam following a 3-year stint with Gwangju, during which he guided the Yellows to the playoffs in 2018, the K-League 2 title a year later, and a club record 6th place in K1 in 2020. Seoul finished 9th in K-League 1 in 2020 and ended the season with a 4th manager overall, with 3 caretakers following the departure of Chae Young-soo. But in the Premier League, Son shines in the North London derby. Son Heung-min scored 1 and assisted 1 in Tottenham's 2-0 North London derby victory over Arsenal last Sunday. With just 13 minutes on the clock, Son guided the ball into the far corner from 20 yards out. Tottenham sit top of the Premier League table on goal difference, and following a 3-3 draw with Lask of Austria, have also made it to the round of 32 in the Europa League. Having scored against the Austrian Bundesliga side, Son now has 13 goals in all competitions, 10 in the league. The South Korean national team captain has hit double figures in the Premier League in each of the last 5 seasons. Elsewhere in London, there was a Korean derby in the Women's Super League as Ji So-yeon got the better of Cho So-hyun as Chelsea overcame West Ham United in a 3-1 victory. It was Ji's 100th match in the Women's Super League for Chelsea, having joined in 2014, making the Korean star the first non-Brit to rack up a century of appearances for the club. For West Ham and Cho So-hyun, it was a 6th defeat in 8 matches. Replace Moraes. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors are on the lookout for a new manager after announcing the departure of Jose Moraes. The Portuguese enjoyed a 2-year trophy-laden spell but decided not to extend his stay in Jeonju. It was announced on Sunday. The former assistant to Jose Mourinho said that he had an unforgettable experience and that he is grateful for the passion and love the fans showed him. Assistant Kim Sang-shik has been tipped to take over. In-bomb with aplomb. Hwang In-bomb was on the score sheet over the weekend, giving Rubin Kazan an early lead away to Lokomotiv Moscow. The 24-year-old let loose from distance to fire Kazan in front with just 3 minutes on the clock. A stunning strike, but Kazan went on to concede 3 and suffered a 4th defeat in 5. What's in a name? Incheon United have announced that the club is selling the naming rights to its stadium, Sungri Arena Park. Incheon say that it is a marketing plan that can positively affect not only the team, but the club's stakeholders, such as the city government, the fans, and participating companies. Gimme, 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 the cup over 2 legs. Gimhae FC have won the 2020 K3 title thanks to a 2-1 aggregate win over Gyeongju Hydro and Nuclear Power. After a 1-0 first leg win on November 28th, a 1-1 draw in last Sunday's second leg sealed the club's first ever title. Gimhae were founded in 2007 and have a number of ex-K-League players amongst their ranks, including former Suwon Blueing, Kim Eun-son, Park Hee-sung, formerly of FC Seoul, and An Jae-jun, once of Songnam and Daejeon. My fellow citizen, meanwhile, at the opposite end of K3, Gyeongju Citizen managed to avoid relegation by overcoming Jinju Citizen in the K3-4 promotion relegation playoff. Gyeongju drew 2-2 with Jinju, who finished 3rd in K4 in a 1-leg final last weekend. A semi-final was played between Jinju and FC Pocheon, with the South Gyeongsan side winning 3-0 on Sunday the 29th of November to set up last Sunday's final. Key suspect, father to Ki Sung-young and current Busan I-Park CEO Ki Young-uk, is facing a police investigation on possible embezzlement charges. It is alleged that Ki embezzled 300 million Korean won, or around $277,000 from Gwangju FC's budget, where he served as general manager. 2 other members of staff from Gwangju are also accused of the same crime. Booked in a game that didn't happen, Suwon Samsung Blueing secured their place in the AFC Champions League quarter-finals on Monday night, but had to do so without regular centre-back Min Sang-gi, who missed the game due to suspension. Min picked up 2 yellow cards in the group stages, one against Vissel Kobe in matchday 6, but the other was in a game that has since been declared null and void, the 2-1 loss to JDT of Malaysia. Despite the game being struck from the record records, any cards picked up remain valid. Suwon officials were made aware of the rule and deemed it to be strange, according to reports, so asked the AFC for clarification. The Blue Wings were told that something similar had happened in the western side of the competition. And finally, Gustavo's tattoo. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors ended the season with 2 trophies, and striker Gustavo has decided to have them both tattooed on his leg. The Brazilian had both the K-League title and FA Cup trophy tattooed on him after the North Jolla side sealed its first ever league and cup double. Gustavo joined the Green Warriors in the summer and scored 11 goals in 21 matches in all competitions. Well, that is all from us for this week, and perhaps the weekend of the season, depending on how Ulsan fare in this Sunday's AFC Champions League semi-final. But thank you very much for tuning in. There will be previews on kleague.com and kleagueunited.com. We are also on social media, all at K-League United, and to find us, the link is, as it should be, in the Bruno bio. Until next time, goodbye.
스코어 2대0 김남춘의 추가골. 지금 이준영 선수가